So, I'm a righty, so I'm gonna write with my left hand, and for the corner of the paper, I'm gonna write my name, right? And this is gonna look a little scratchy because I am a right-handed person. And for your non-dominant drawing, yeah, on the blank paper, you're gonna write your name. If you wrote it with your dominant hand, that's okay, but I feel like this is a good warm-up for my non-dominant hand drawing. And if I was writing with my dominant hand, my writing would be a lot smaller. So that's why I said don't be afraid to make your drawing big. I know we're drawing a bee and they're small, but we have this really big paper, so don't be afraid to make your drawing big. This is period 2. And today is February 9th. Right? My handwriting doesn't look as nice as it would if I was using my dominant hand. So, once I'm done writing my name, if I want to do the whole drawing on this side, I can, but I prefer to flip the paper over so that my name and the date and the period is on the back. So, I gave you this instructions. I did not make these instructions. I found these on the internet, but the reason why I chose them is because our school mascot is a hornet, right? So we're going to make a drawing of a bee. I like this one just because it shows you the steps to getting it more detailed. Now you can go to the bathroom, Makai. Joelle, the only thing that we did so far, this drawing is a challenge to use the hand that you normally do not write with. So if you're a righty, you're going to draw with your left hand. I know, it's going to feel slow, it's going to feel weird, but I'm looking for your ability to persevere and try something unusual, right? I'm not looking for it to be perfect. I'm just looking for your willingness to try. So if you look at the instructions here, and I also feel like I'm cheating a little bit because I've done this drawing many times, so I've practiced this many times with my non-dominant hand. This circle is the middle of the body, so when you're drawing your circle in the middle of the paper, it's like try and aim for the middle, because that way you'll have room for the head, you'll have room for the end of the body, but also don't try and make your drawing really small. If you make your drawing a little bit bigger and looser, it's going to be a little bit more comfortable for your hand. So when I'm drawing the body for the circle, instead of just like drawing like one circle, it might help if you go around a couple of times. It's going to make your sketch a little bit easier. And I hope that you noticed right away when you're drawing with your non-dominant hand, you don't have as much pressure. Also, I notice when I'm using my non-dominant hand, I tend to hold the pencil instead of holding it like in a death grip right at the point. Like my hand just naturally wants to hold it like closer to the end of the pencil. So if you're using like a little tiny mini pencil, right, maybe you can't do that. But this pencil is newer, so it's nice and long. So naturally, I just wind up holding it towards the end of the pencil. The head is kind of like an upside down almond shape. It's a little bit pointier at the bottom and then a little bit rounder at the top. And again, this is just like the pencil part of our drawing. So if it helps you to go around a couple times, like maybe you're feeling it in your shoulder a little bit, that you're like, whoa, this is kind of, my arm is weak. And then the end of the body, to me, it's almost like a jelly bean type shape. It's like curved and like bent in the middle, kind of reminds me of like a jelly bean. And we're gonna start the drawing off in pencil, but we'll have time at the end if you want to go over it with marker or watercolor paint or colored pencil. So I'm not worried about making the pencil part of my drawing too perfect. I'm sorry, this video with the music has so many ads. I really don't like that about this one. I've lost it though. That's not it. Yeah, this video, it keeps going to ads, I'm sorry. Okay, so I've got the head, the middle of the body, the end of the body. Yeah. Oh, you can get one. It's on the shelf underneath the colored pencils. Yes. No, that's good. Okay, so, wait, do you see where it says drawing paper? I know, it's like kind of hidden in there. So, all I've done is drawn the middle of the body, the head, and the abdomen. The legs have like more ovals, so it's like we're drawing each section of the leg because their legs are kind of like bent. So I'm gonna draw the eye shape. And again, like I don't have to do just like one line. I'm just gonna go around a couple times. And then I'm gonna make an oval shape for the front of the arm, and it's kind of just like horizontally. Behind it, I'm gonna make another oval shape that's like a little bit diagonal. And then this one, the third leg, I'm gonna make it a little bit taller and more like vertical-ish. Oh, the camera's gone. Yeah, that would help. We need the camera. There we go. When I'm looking at the antenna, the one antenna is coming out from like the eye area. And because the bee is in a profile view, we only see the one eye. And then the other antenna, I'm gonna start on the edge of the head. And then I'm gonna draw it coming out. I'm gonna start in the middle of the body. And I'm gonna draw a line that comes out. And then I'm gonna start at the top of the middle of the body, and I'm gonna draw like a diagonal line. So those are gonna be the edges of the wing. Some people in period 1 like didn't want to draw the stinger because they said that it made the bee kind of scary, but maybe we like that because it can be scary. So I'll give it a stinger. And then to make the legs longer, I'm gonna draw a bigger oval, and then I'm gonna draw another oval for the back of the leg. So, the drawing is still like a little bit sketchy, but that's okay. The bee's mouth, to me, it looks like the letter W. And then it's like kind of like closed off at the top, so it's like a big W, and then it's closed off. The ends of the bee's legs have like a little foot, so another oval. Another oval. And then to close off the wing shape, I'm gonna do like a rainbow arch from the end of the line to the beginning of the line. So those are the wings. To add like more texture and detail, bees have like a little bit of like hairs on their body. So if you do like some zigzags on the head, and the head is gonna be in front of, so if there's like some overlapping here, right, you might wanna like just darken that up a little bit, and then do your zigzags for the little hairs on the bee's body. If your drawing looks a little weird, if it feels like it's taking you a long time, then you're probably doing okay. This is not supposed to be something that is very quick. And I forgot totally to put stripes on the lower part of the body. All right. Inside of the wings, we're gonna add some veins, and like a trick for making the veins, if you draw the letter Y, right, and then you add like little V's coming off of it, so like any type of a line, and then you draw like a V or like a little letter Y, that's gonna make it look like some veins in the bee's wing. So they don't have to be super straight, but I think using, like in my mind, I say like I'm drawing the letter Y, and then I'm like gonna draw the letter V. That helps give some like natural, almost like we're drawing like a leaf with like little veins. So like a Y, another Y, a V, a Y, a V, a Y. If you wanted to shade in the eye, you could use some like cross hatching lines. So like lines that go in one direction, lines that go in another direction. I feel like shading with my non-dominant hand is a little bit harder than just drawing lines. What's up, Makai? You're back. All right. So, once you feel like your drawing is done-ish, you can use color on it now. The options for color are watercolor paint, colored pencil, Sharpie marker. Now, I know a lot of times we gravitate towards using black to outline the picture, but in the last class, I chose to outline it with brown. Instead of using black, like maybe you want to use a different color that's dark.
Granger knows that if you're school custodian, cleanliness is your top priority. That's why you can rely on Granger for a range of cleaning products and equipment, from disinfectants to floor
You
scrubbers.
don't always want to rely on black as the
Get it
color
done.
that you're going to use. So for this one, I'm going to use the blue marker to outline everything. Just like a dark color will still give you like a nice outlining effect. So, right, our class ends at 10. We have 25 minutes to just like play with your drawing. Like I said, I'm not looking for something that's perfect. I'm just looking for something that you're trying to do something new. It might feel a little awkward, weird, unusual. It might feel uncomfortable and hard. But I'm looking for your effort and willingness to try something new and unusual. So, I've got some time to play. And I feel like because our school color, like one of our school colors is blue, like the blue is a little bit fun for the outline. But another good color, if you wanted another dark color, could be like that purple, because purple's also pretty dark. Yeah, like while I'm doing this drawing, I feel like my shoulder gets tired. I feel like instead of all of the drawing coming from like my wrist and my hand, I feel like the drawing starts coming from my shoulder a little bit. I also feel like it's really hard to like color neatly inside of the lines, so the stuff starts to look a little bit sketchy. If you want to do the shading and stuff with just lines, that might help you feel a little bit more successful instead of saying like I'm gonna fill in this whole area perfectly, right? Like for these stripes, I'm just trying to do like vertical-ish lines, and then for the legs, I'm gonna try and make the lines a little bit more curved, just like how I did like cross hatching where the lines were going in different directions around the eye. Like think about different ways that you can make lines work for your shading. Also, I feel like I've done this drawing probably at least 6 times. So I feel like a little bit like cheating because I've drawn it so many times. So I don't want you to feel like you need to compare your drawing to mine. This is just about like, it's an exercise for your arm. I definitely think drawing bigger also helps. If you drew it small, that's okay too, but I think drawing bigger makes it a little bit easier.
Ranger knows that if you're a school custodian, cleanliness is your top priority. That's why you can rely on Granger for a range of cleaning products and equipment, from disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, I totally forgot to outline this whole wing. Oops. So, because we're just like playing with this, I'm not gonna color the bee realistic colors, right? I can color the bee whatever colors I want. Because, like I said, this is really just about like an exercise for your brain and an exercise for your arm to try something that you normally don't do. So, if you're gonna watercolor paint, I would definitely say if you're gonna plan on using markers, do the markers first. Otherwise, you have to wait for the watercolor paint to dry before you go on to marker, because if the marker gets wet, the marker is kind of like ruined. So if you're gonna do a mixed media for coloring, you probably want to try and do the marker stuff first before you paint. And then if you really wanted to, you could go back in with colored pencil when everything's dry. So like you use marker, if you use watercolor paint, it's dry, you could also use colored pencil. And I do have a hair dryer if you want to try and get your drawing dry before the class is over. And I'm gonna say, if you're gonna watercolor paint, maybe don't pick like the tiniest brush. Maybe try to pick like medium-sized brush, so that way you're not really struggling to try and get the color applied. Because I'm also gonna do that if I don't know. And then the watercolor paint, just to make everything like easier to carry around the room, if you take the whole tray and like the water's like running just like softly, you can run the whole tray underneath so that everything is already wet. And then you can grab like one of these extra trays that's underneath the paper towels. You can grab paper towel, the tray, cup, brush, water. That way you can just carry this whole thing to your seat. I think it's a more efficient approach to trying to get everything all carried around. All right. I definitely don't want my computer to get wet, so I'm gonna try and scooch that over. This desk is not really big enough for me. I wish I had more space. I'll make it fit though. There we go. What's under there? Oh, it's a pencil. There we go. All right.
Granger knows that if you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Granger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify
Sorry
and fix the
again for
problem.
these
With Granger,
ads.
you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.